Hello and welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about whether or not the Plantagenets were actually descended from a demon. So the House of Plantagenet actually comes from Anjou in France. They came to the throne of England through Empress Matilda, who was the daughter of King Henry I of England, who had married Count Godfrey of Anjou. As her father's only surviving legitimate child, Matilda was heir to the throne, but when her father died, her cousin Stephen claimed the throne. This started a civil war that lasted years, and eventually Matilda's eldest son Henry took over his mother's claim to the throne. An agreement was agreed that Stephen would remain king until his death, and then after that Henry would inherit the throne. And so in 1154 Henry inherited the throne, and the Plantagenets ruled England until the death of King Richard III at the Battle of Bosworth Field in 1485. So the Plantagenets had a temper on them. Henry II often had bursts of temper, one of which resulted in the death of Archbishop Thomas Becket. Plus the 300-year period that the Plantagenets ruled England would be one of the bloodiest in history. What with the 100 Years' War, the York and the Lancaster branches of the family fighting each other in the War of the Roses, and there was Edward I's attacks on Scotland and his son's usurpation and possible murder, and also the Peasants' Revolt. There were so many things going on in this period of time. So the reason given for the temper that the Plantagenet family members had was that they were actually descended from a demon. The story goes that in the 900s, Godfrey Greymantle, Count of Anjou, met and fell in love with a very beautiful but very mysterious woman. They married and had 3 children together. But Godfrey grew concerned when his wife would only rarely attend mass, and when she was in church she was very restless there, and she would always leave before Holy Communion. One day Godfrey told his men that when his wife tried to leave the church, they were to restrain her. So when the Countess got up to leave, Godfrey's men grabbed hold of her, but she was able to break free, and wildly screaming, she flew out of the window, never to be seen again. And it was at this point it realised that Godfrey had actually married a demon. But this story is most definitely not true. Godfrey Greymantle actually married a French noblewoman called Adele. But the story about being descended from a demon probably came about to help explain the actions of their son, Fulk the Black. He was an evil man. Everywhere he went, he used to pillage, rape and burn. He accused his wife of having an affair without proof and then burned her at the stake because of this. Fulk was described by the historian Henry Finch as a truly terrifying character of fiendish cruelty, and that whenever he had the slightest difference with a neighbour, he rushed upon his lands, ravaging, pillaging, raping and killing. Nothing could stop him. So with the actions of Fulk, it is easy to see why some people would think that he was actually descended from a demon. But even though it was most definitely not true that they were descended from demons, some of the Plantagenet kings actually really liked the fact that people thought they were. King Richard I of England once said, "From the devil we came and to the devil we shall go." So there we go. There's a little video about how the Plantagenets were descended from a demon, which they definitely were not. And it does seem that this story came about to explain the actions of one very horrible man. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.